Hey Elizabeth.
Hi Caroline.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you for asking.
Yeah. So I know last time that we talked, you actually mentioned that you were heading up to Charlotte to see family. Yeah.
I did. It was fun.
Good. That's
a great
glad to
time.
hear.
Thank you for asking.
Oh, I love Charlotte. Here's my business card. Just for future reference.
Yes,
always good to have. I know we have each other's contacts. So before we really dive into things today, I spoke with your assistant Megan, and she mentioned that we have roughly 20 minutes.
Yes,
right?
that is correct.
Great. And if you don't mind, I'd like to just take some additional notes and ask some questions to kind of dive deeper and get to the root of the concerns.
Of course, please.
Okay, great. So, because I know we talked about that in our previous meeting. So, speaking of that meeting, are you you were actually able to identify some areas of concern regarding American Farm and Garden Supply?
Yes.
Kind of specifics with the sales department, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that is correct.
Great. And we'll be able to break that down a little bit further. But right now I just kind of wanted to provide you with a little background for myself. I know we've spoken a few times, but it's always good to reiterate. So I've been with Salesforce for the last 5 years, and for the past 3 years I have actually been a top performing sales representative for the Southeast region. So I'm very versed in y'all's field.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So I work with a handful of companies that are very similar to you all. Companies such as your top competitors like Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware. We've worked with them very closely in the past, so I think I'm very versed in your field and ready to help you all kind of move forward. So I understand that after having a meeting with Tom James, you guys' financial.
Tom James, yes.
Great, such a great guy, I love him. He mentioned that you guys made $518 million in revenue.
We did
last
year.
Wow, that's incredible. Congratulations.
That's thank you.
Only a few companies can really put out those numbers. And that was actually 12%.
12%.
Over 2017. Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
That's
okay.
Correct.
That's incredible, and you're actually on target to do well over $518 million this year.
That's the plan.
Wow, that's where we want to be at, right?
Yes.
So we definitely, that's awesome. So with kind of all of that being said, I've kind of created an agenda for today just to kind of go over if you want to take a look. So I know that we've kind of highlighted some concerns, from past conversations. The first being struggling with order tracking and sorting through client data, which with systems like Salesforce like us, we definitely...
we did discuss that within just a little tweaking we need to do with order tracking, just being on the same page.
No, exactly, and minuscule things like that really can make the world of a difference. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that, touch kind of on the overall accessibility of what Salesforce has to offer. We really do have, anything and everything to help you guys get to where you want to be at. And finally, I understand that there's been kind of a communication lag within AFGS.
That is correct.
Just with the size of your company and the current 6 locations. So we really want to make sure that is squared away. So with all that being said, do you find any other problems that you want to identify that I've kind of missed, or anything you want to go over?
That sounds about right with the things we've been struggling with mostly lately, yes.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, great. And is there anybody else that you're kind of thinking you want in this meeting today?
Just me today.
Just you? Okay.
Yes.
Great. That sounds great. Okay, so I kind of like to dive a little bit deeper into each of the, concerning issues and the pain points, because really we don't want anything to hinder your success. We're here to help you, and we want to see you succeed. That's our main goal here. Yeah. So now, if you don't mind me asking, who is your current CRM software you're using?
Okay, so we've been, I don't know if you're familiar with NetSuite. We've been with them for about 10 years.
Okay.
And they've done great things for us over the years.
Yeah, no, we're very familiar with NetSuite, great company. I'm very familiar with them. So how satisfied would you say that your overall experience has been with NetSuite and your current experience?
Like I said, done great things for us in the past years, but it does feel, as of recent, we're kind of growing and expanding at a faster rate than they're able to keep up with.
Great. So
just kind of veering in different directions.
Yes. So just so I can get a grip. So on the past, really, they've hit all the marks and helped you get to where you need to be, and then you're just
But as of recent, yes.
Great. So well, we're definitely here to help. That's very understandable. So these differences that you mentioned that you're experiencing and how you're drifting apart, you know, how have they affected your overall company operations as a whole?
So it's just things like tracking client orders, sorting through client data efficiently,
Okay.
the growing size of our company, like I said, we just feel like we're growing too fast and maybe not keeping up with client orders like we used to, and you know, we're very much about customer service, making them
Right,
happy, that
exactly.
kind of stuff, so just kind of maybe feels like we're not
Yeah.
up to date.
I'm, you know, very aware that you guys are a very customer-focused company, and that's,
Yes.
you know, every company really strives for that, but you guys really, that is something that many people I have worked with have said about you all, and
Thank
so.
you. We
Yeah, of
appreciate
course,
that.
no, so, and, you know, with that being a core value, we really wanna uphold those standards and help you uphold those standards, and when, you know, communication, tracking orders, client data, all that kind of starts to, you know, become disorganized, it's really hard to do that. So, you know, kind of moving on from that, I know that through our discussion in last week's meeting and through my communications with Tom again, and Bill Jackson, y'all's, is it his merchandising officer?
Yes.
Is that him? Okay.
Marketing, merchandising.
Great.
Yes.
Okay, he said that one of you all's largest concerns is the inefficiency of the order tracking
Yes.
that you're facing, yeah?
Yes.
So that's your.
That is correct.
Okay, and regarding that process, what really is at the heart of that? What are the main issues?
See, it's just becoming stressful between clients and us, just because we're getting client calls about where's my order,
Right.
that we just wanna be able to be on the same page about this is who ordered, this is when they ordered, this is when it was out in transit, this is when they received it, just
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's definitely very, you know, important to relay to your customers, and I'm sure it's important to everyone else in your company when, you know, somebody has an account and that order's placed, you wanna be able to give them the information, you wanna know for yourself. So I definitely can understand, that is
Exactly.
a real concern. And, how does that current situation of like trying to understand the order process and like things are kind of, you know, like falling behind, how does that, situation, evaluate and kind of go into effect the product life cycle and the overall relationship between the company and the customer? Because I understand that.
Well, like I said, it's become more difficult to be on the same page, and
Right.
we wanna know when they click submit what they ordered with their account.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're growing out of NetSuite kind of in that way,
Okay.
that we don't exactly know, it's not great when a customer calls us and says, well, where's my order, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
It's like, that's a good
Right.
question.
And I heard from Bill again that you guys have been, as of recent, getting, you know, many emails and calls,
Yes.
from customers, you know,
Yes, so that
being a
has
little discouraged.
created stress between client and
I'm
company,
sure
as
that
of
has.
recent.
Okay, thank you, I'm just trying to get a little bit of more of a grasp of it. So I also understand that, that this situation has probably become very stressful.
Yes.
And do you think that, I mean, would you actually, I mean, that's kind of an assumption just from the, kind of initial meetings that I've had with, you know, Bill and Tom and Megan and, Marvin and others. So who, like, how would you say, is it a stressful situation at work when you go in each day? Have you noticed that?
I would say that it does create stress a little bit within, just because no one's blaming anybody else, but it's
Right.
more, it does create stress just because everybody's trying to do their job at different places, and
No, that makes sense.
when there's customers coming asking us for questions and I don't have the answer, you don't have the answer, it's just
It's just all of
creating
us.
stress with it.
Of course. And do you think that because of this stress that's being induced within, you know, within the office, that there's been any kind of lack or even a lag, like delayed communication within the company?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think communication within is also, a lack of communication
Right.
is also feeding into the problem.
Sure. I do tend to see that. Truthfully, I do tend to see that amongst other clients of mine when they get in stressful situations like this. There's not a sense of hostility, but it's like everybody's, you know, walking on glass, trying to figure
Yeah.
out what they need to do.
Exactly.
And have you really seen this in any specific department, or is it just overall?
Specifically, now that you asked specifically, I have seen it in sales, just because
Okay.
salespeople are out doing their job in the field, trying to do what they do. And maybe some people at headquarters are trying to get in touch,
Sure.
or someone else is trying to get in touch, just
Sure.
things like that.
And really, have these, you know, stressful situations, these problems, has it led to any kind of employee turnover rate? Because it's definitely something that I've seen, is that things like this turn into a significant problem.
Funny that you asked. Yes, we did have, I met with Tom last week.
Okay.
And he told me that our turnover rate was 5% now.
Okay, wow. And, you know, has it been, you know, that high in the past, or?
It's about 3% more than what it's been in the
Okay,
past.
about 3% more.
Mhm.
And, you know, not to alarm you or anything like that, because
Mhm.
this is, it's very common, and you guys are a great company, so we can definitely combat this, but, so I've kind of calculated out, some of the potential losses that can come from situations like this.
Okay.
So if you wanna look here on this Excel sheet, let me pull it up.
Yeah.
So basically what this says is that y'all have 6, locations, correct?
Yes.
Okay, 6 locations, and you have 40 employees. If just one of those employees were to leave, right here, if one of them were to leave the location, that is
Okay.
$7 million in revenue lost.
Wow.
Right, and, you know, that times your 6 locations, that's in total $42 million in revenue lost.
Wow.
Right, and, you know, that's a big amount, and, I mean, would you agree that, that this is probably the size of the potential loss?
I knew that there was going to be losses, yes, but
Okay.
my guess would have been ballpark 22 million.
Okay,
Was
so about
that
half.
maybe not, about half,
About
yeah.
half, okay. You know, and what's unfortunate about the matter is that whether it's 42 or 22, it's still a substantial amount of money,
Yes.
right? And I can understand how that probably, you know, wasn't the greatest thing to see in this meeting,
Yeah.
but I really wanted to give you kind of like the background of the situation.
No, I appreciate it.
You
It
know,
needs to be.
you know, just so we can all kind of understand where we're at, because you can't move forward unless you know where you're at. So, my concern really here is just to get, the employee retention rate back to where it needs to be. You know, 5% truthfully isn't end all be all, but, you know, if we can make that, you know, decrease and
Always
diminish
better
it,
to make
exactly. So,
Look lower.
more importantly, we wanna just get American Farm and Garden Supply, you know,
Mhm.
to make a comeback before it's too late. So, if you don't mind, I'd like to demo some of the capabilities
Yeah, sure.
that Salesforce has. Let me
Love to
pull that
see
up, right? Okay, so, right here, all the information I've kind of laid out for you with the agenda and the calculations. I know that that can kind of be daunting, but there is good news, because I have seen this firsthand, with your top competitors. You know, we've already mentioned them, you know, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, stuff like that. But Salesforce is a cloud-based system. Therefore, we have, we are on Wi-Fi, so anybody who has Salesforce on their phone, can log on, can get in touch with other people.
Oh, interesting.
Exactly, and so so no longer do you need a coding technician to come in worth $6 million, has to come in. It's usually a hassle, things aren't working, your CRM's failing.
Okay.
So that's really what we can offer. And so basically with Wi-Fi connection, this is possible. And so what we really have here is, the first one I want to talk about is, I understand communication is lacking.
Yes.
So we have Salesforce Chatter. So
Okay.
basically what this room is, if you want to click around, please feel free. It's basically this situation where it's kind of like a Twitter. So if I were to say, hey, my colleague Ryan, who's right now out in the field, I need to get in touch with him, and I can't, I can get to him and I can be like, hey Ryan, I'm having this kind of problem in my account, what can you do to help me? It'll populate the page,
Interesting.
he can see it. And it's really department facing, so sales department, marketing department, you name it, whatever, they have it. I can populate it, anybody can respond to me.
Okay.
So, and it's in real time, it's kind of like, it's almost like text messaging, but it's, you know, corporate facing, so they understand when they get the Salesforce notification, this is
Okay.
important, I need to answer. Moving on, we have order tracking, because I know that that is our main concern here.
Yes.
And we have the Lightning order tracking, which basically just really helps the client and the company at the same time kind of merge. You can click around again. And basically what this is doing is that it's really helping you and the client be on the same page. They can see when an order's in transit, when it has arrived literally at their doorstep,
Okay.
easy returns, you name it, it has it, and it helps you sort through your client data. So there should be no more confusion, really.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes, so, now I know that you guys are currently operating in 6 locations.
Yes, that is correct.
Currently. And I was kind of going over some data points with Tom James again. And he made me aware of your strategic plan, your expansion plan.
Yes, we are gonna open 4 new locations,
Oh,
hopefully in 2020.
Great, and
Yes.
those locations remind me.
Macon,
Louisville,
Knoxville,
Columbia.
Columbia.
Okay,
yes.
great. And that's for 2020 and 2021.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. So congratulations,
Thank
because
you.
that's definitely something to be so proud of.
We're excited.
Yeah, and I wanted to address this all beforehand because as you know, this is, AFGS is expanding and growing, but really we want to focus right now on the 6 existing locations.
Okay.
And then kind of in a year, come and revisit it and then, see where we're at, maybe implement the next 4. So getting into pricing, I've kind of pulled up another Excel sheet to kind of break down everything for you. So I know that you have 40 employees per each location.
Yes.
And I've gone over this with Tom and Bill and Marvin, and we've kind of ran through things, and we think that 15 licenses per each 6 location is what's
Okay.
necessary to kind of combat the issues that we're having. So that's around 90 licenses, and then we want an additional 10 licenses for headquarters, president,
Yeah, makes
everyone,
sense.
right? And so basically that comes out to be around $226,800 per year. Additionally, we have a $25,000 initial setup fee, so it comes out to be around, if you wanna look, $2,500 or $251,800.
Okay.
And, and I know that sounds kind of pricey, but it's really gonna decrease your, current annual operating cost by 30%, which is very substantial. And, I understand that this may sound somewhat pricey, but really compared to the potential loss here of $22 million, it's a drop in the bucket. And,
Okay.
we've been endorsed by, incredible individuals such as Dr. Richard Gooner of the Terry College of Business,
Interesting.
and so many others. So with that being said, our system has really been proven to work, and we're very proud of it. And we really want to help you guys get to where you need to be, because we believe in you guys, and you believe in what you're doing, or you wouldn't be the company you are. So we want to get you just to where you need to be at, and I really think that with the Salesforce chatter and the lightning order tracking, that this will really help you set you
Okay.
apart and give you an edge in your own competition. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. Yes,
So
ma'am.
here I have a written agreement out that basically just discusses everything we've talked about today, including benefits, pricing, you name it. So with that being said, do you see any reason for us not to move forward today?
I do not.
Okay, great. If you don't mind signing here.
Right here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.